So the video you're about to watch will look markedly different from videos we make today, and that's because it was recorded several months ago and we just never uploaded it. And the reason we never uploaded it is because it was sponsored, and our sponsor asked us to refrain from posting it until they got all their ducks in a row. Silver lining though, the sponsor are people making a horror movie called I'll Be Glad When You're Dead, and they just so happen to have contacted us to repost it during spooky season. So if you want to find out more about this movie, you can click the links below or just wait till the end of the video where we talk about it. And I'd like to say thank you to the makers of I'll Be Glad When You're Dead. I hope it all works out quite well for you. I'm happy that you reached back out to us, and thank you for paying in advance. So if you like the way videos look now, you can thank the makers of I'll Be Glad When You're Dead because they happily paid us in advance even though we never posted the video, which I greatly appreciate and allowed us to buy the new camera equipment and lighting you see up and around me. So cheers to them for that, and yeah, thanks for sponsoring, thanks to our audience for being patient, and for understanding that just sometimes videos look a little different. Enjoy it, and have a great spooky season. So before we start, Brad, is my Desperados in the fridge?
Yeah, I think so.
Can I please get my beer? Yeah, boy.
Yes,
Yeah, go fetch, Brad.
Well, I can walk in front of the camera and ruin the shot. Have a look. While we're waiting for this, Nisha, have a think about your favourite fictional detective. Hell yeah, boy.
Detective.
Yes.
You just literally just saw your thumb. Detective.
Well, actually, can you pass me my glass out the freezer as well? I'm really sorry. Lieutenant Frank Columbo, hereafter referred to as simply Columbo, is a character who adheres to a weirdly specific trope. That's of the comically, compellingly weird detective who is somehow always right and spends most of their time wandering around like a drunken bumblebee, variously pissing people off and solving crimes. I did that quite well, didn't I? I thought I did.
Yeah.
Ah! That's fine.
If you can't hear all the noise in the background.
Yeah.
The trample.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
okay,
also the subject of a fierce fan debate about whether or not he has a functional set of eyeballs. You don't fill it all the way to the top, so that'll annoy someone, which is me. Also, yes, I've got a frozen glass with freezer on it.
Refrigerator.
That's the And I should mention while I take a nice sip of this cool beer, that today's video is sponsored by an actual horror movie called I'll Be Glad When You're Dead that you can help get made, and also support the channel by supporting them. Everybody wins.
Yay!
So guys, have either of you watched Columbo?
No.
Okay, so Columbo's undergoing something of like a renaissance online because Tumblr just decided that, you know what, Columbo, fuck yeah, let's go.
Tumblr's still a thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Columbla.
There it is.
Tulumbo.
There we go. Yeah, Tumblr's still a thing, and they've decided they love Columbo because if you don't know, it's very generic a plot, but it's like, I guess in the I think the 60s, maybe I think technically the late 50s when like the character first appeared. Kind of like, new, where detective with a quirk.
Lieutenant? It's a little steep. Yes.
Which is a really common trope, isn't it? It's one of my favourite tropes in fiction. I love the detective with a quirk. Like, I love
What's
Monk.
his quirk?
Well, his quirk is that he's just a weirdo, which is like, again, very generic. Like I said, I love Monk, love The Mentalist, like Psych, all those shows, like, X-Files, all that, just, it's a really common thing, isn't it? We've got a guy who's brilliant, but he's a bit weird.
What you're seeing is going to revolutionize the agriculture industry as you know it.
Congratulations on the square tomato.
You want one? You could take one home.
Yeah, like Horatio Kane.
Yeah, or Grissom.
Gil Grissom.
Yeah, so he's brilliant, but he's a bit weird. And that goes all the way back to Sherlock Holmes. Like, Sherlock Holmes is the archetype, but people have been innovating that for like centuries now. Is it a century? I'm gonna say century, why not? Millennia. We've got a new millennium, it counts, but yeah.
The first cavemen drew on the walls, they drew homes.
Yeah, they drew a hand.
Deerstalker.
They drew a hat. Whose hand is that? Let's figure out. Oh, there's a buffalo there. Who killed them? Anyway, so if you don't know anything about Columbo, he's a detective. He's a bit ramshackle. He's a bit slobbish, but he's brilliant. And the reason why the internet has decided that Columbo is the shit is because most episodes of Columbo, the criminal is a rich person. And Columbo has like a weird format for a crime show where they show you the person committing the crime at the start of the episode, so you know who did it, but the characters don't. No! and the format of the show is that Columbo slowly figures it out. And he figures it out by basically just being a dick to rich people. And you can probably see why Columbo has taken off on the internet in recent years. It's like, you know what? We really need, we stan just this weird hobo man who walks into people's houses, just fucks through all their shit, annoys them, and then just repeatedly accuses them of being a murderer.
So it's a mystery show, but we don't get the mystery.
Yeah, but you enjoy Columbo figuring it out. And that's, it's interesting in that way, isn't it? Have you ever heard of a crime show where you know who did it? It's a whodunit with you know. But it's like, will Columbo figure it out? And then he gets 40 years later, and it's like, well, he's got to figure it out. He's always right. That's another one of my favourite things about shows like this, where it's like, the first couple episodes, it could be believed that, people wouldn't trust Columbo because he's a bit weird. Like Adrian Monk is I personally prefer Monk, but it's like, he's a bit weird. But you get to season 6, and he's got 300 arrests under his belt. It's like, at that point, anything he says, believe him. Like MacGyver. I love that I was recently watching the new version of MacGyver. Where they lock him literally in a fucking concrete bunker. Stop escaping. And MacGyver's like, those fools. They don't realise there's wires in this concrete. And starts digging into and pulls out and he escapes.
So once again I find myself locked in a room. But this time it isn't a game. Thornton was right. This room is secure. But she was also wrong. Because they didn't remove everything. As a kid, I was taught never to stick anything metal in an outlet. And that's very good advice. But they didn't say anything about pulling out the outlet entirely and sticking something metal into the empty space behind it so you could get to the electrical wiring hidden in the wall of the room you're locked inside.
He's MacGyver.
Of course.
I love MacGyver.
I love with those shows, you say, the detective's obviously going to figure out. The longer they go on, the more you can be because they have to stick to the theme.
Yeah.
So with Midsummer Murders, when you get to the 10th season or something, why is anyone still living Midsummer?
Yeah.
People get murdered every week and it's a small town.
Well, that's what we talked about with Bones, didn't we? The reason I love the show Bones, why Boney is here, is because people don't know the plot of Bones is, a lady is an expert on bones, and every episode they find a skeleton. But when you get to season 12, they start coming up with some absolutely ridiculous reasons for this to be a skeleton. And that's the episode where they find a skeleton in a chocolate bar.
What is that? This horrible, horrible thing ruined our great unveiling of the world's largest chocolate bar.
Do you have any security cameras here, any surveillance I can take a look at, footage?
I'm actually very, very happy to see the agents come and figure out who committed this horrible act.
This is the way life is.
Well, just they're walking around. One episode, they find just a foot. That's a skeleton, and they bring in a guy who's an expert on skeleton feet, and they have an argument between the skeleton foot expert and the expert on bones.
Is it time we have an intervention for your weird obsession with skeletons?
No, never.
Every video you bring up a skeleton in some way.
Do you know what it is? Because the word is very funny, and I still think it's great that I say skeleton sometimes, and I get people who correct me on it. And it's like, did you never watch Hot Fuzz?
Skellington.
Didn't he tell me about no skeletons?
It's like Jack Skellington as well.
Yeah. That's why Nick Frost character's like, I didn't know about any skeletons.
Hey, there are skeletons back there. I don't know nothing about no skeleton. What did you think was happening? Not this!
But to bring it back to Columbo, people love him because he just goes in and gives rich people the business. And he's as mentioned, he's very slobbish, very slovenly, and he has a bunch of weird quirks. One of the things that makes Columbo so compelling a character is that it's really unclear how many of these eccentricities are actual facets of his character or just things that he's made up. Because something that becomes very clear if you watch a lot of Columbo is that he just makes a lot of shit up. So much stuff, in fact, that you don't actually really know anything about him. There's one episode, for example, where he claims to have no affinity for music, and he very clumsily tickles the ivories while someone tries to teach him how to play piano. Then another episode, picks up a tuba and just rips a solo. Just you're like, wait, what? I thought you had nothing to do with it. Oh, another episode he says, he speaks fluent Italian. Then a later episode is I don't know any Italian.
This sounds to me like a smart move on behalf of a detective to get information out of
Exactly, you got the nail right on the head there, Brad, where it is revealed that the character does this on purpose to ingratiate himself with suspects, where he'll play the fool or the expert, depending on what he thinks will be lower the person's guard the most. So he'll claim to be an idiot in some cases, so to get the person to lower their guard, or be an expert to put them on the back foot. And the fact that he can so quickly, so effortlessly switch between these two personas. And the fact that there's like, so many episodes where he claims to be an expert or completely oblivious to so many different things means his actual personality and how much of what he presents is real is unclear.
It's like that trope of when someone in a film like wants you to admit you've done something, so they'll play it like they don't know.
Well, yeah, it's
and then you like admit that you'll admit something that is wrong, and then they'll be like, got you.
Well, yeah, it's like the best episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, the Sterling K. Brown episode, where it's like, the guy gets away with a perfect crime, and then you have like, Peralta and Holt playing intimately like the fool and the experts, like, get the guy to admit his faults, and that's what Columbo does. All these modern cop shows basically owe it all to Columbo. So it's been on the air for like, not on the air, like, there probably will be a reboot in the works somewhere, but like over half a century of Columbo like episodes and films and all that good stuff. And he was near university played by one guy, Peter Falk, which is part of the reason why fans aren't sure whether his eyes work.
What?
So you guys, you don't know much about Columbo, do you?
No.
Not really.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to like turn my screen around now. So I'm
This
gonna.
isn't like it makes sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
I was
So-
just confused.
So one of the things that like Columbo is most well known for is his stare. So I'm gonna turn my monitor around. This won't show up on camera, but you see that there?
Yeah.
Like, that's the Columbo stare. That is like an iconic facet of the character where just.
Am I picturing Poirot? I'm picturing an old guy with a hat.
Well, no, Poirot's another. I love Poirot, man. Oh, Poirot's so fucking good. That's it. It's such. Yeah. Poirot, Columbo, but I love them all. But like that stare is one of the most iconic things about the character. Like that's when he's like proper giving someone like giving the business. Like, you're the one. Stares him down like I can't do it. You know why I can't do it? Because my eyes work. The actor who played Columbo, Peter Falk, his eyes didn't work. He's only had one of them.
I mean, I just saw the picture. He's got two.
He has a glass eye. So he lost one eye to cancer at 3 years old.
Oh, God.
And as a result, that part of his face didn't really work properly. So when he had to furrow his brow to do the thing like a detective, staring someone down, he gave him a very distinct, puzzled expression. He basically gave him the proto-rock. I can't do it.
Big suction. I'll tell that to Mr. Pangborn, too. We were both wondering.
This may seem like a daft question, but when you have a glass eye, does it move when you look around?
It depends.
Because what moves the eye? Is it muscles inside the eye?
Maybe.
It depends how complete and I believe the word is ocular prosthesis, which is a fun word to say. Depends how sophisticated the ocular prosthesis is.
I've never really thought about what makes your eye move around, because obviously the optic nerve is connected to the back, but it's not like that's wiggles around to rotate. The eye must be rotated by muscles in the eye.
If someone's got one eye, let us know.
Yeah, but if you pop your eye out, then it must be around the eye that moves it.
From my research on the subject, it depends. For Peter Falk, he lost his eye when he was about 3 years old, just eye cancer or something like that. And and just him having that disability in real life gave Columbo that distinctive puzzled expression. He's staring someone down.
It's like Bill Skarsgård.
Oh, where you can have one eye pointing.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah.
One way and the other.
He played Pennywise recently. He can make one eye look a different way. And he did
Yeah.
that for Pennywise.
I think that's so creepy.
You can do that in real life, can't you?
Yeah.
And there's there's a bunch of stuff in film where that's happened, an actor having a distinctive quirk or something that they can do that they don't write in for the character.
Yeah.
I can't think of any examples off the top of my head because. Cheers.
Get in the comments.
But bringing it back to Columbo, this has led to a very heated fan debate about whether the character also has one eye.
I can see why people would question that.
Yes.
If his actual face doesn't move that way, then the character's face must also not move that way.
Yeah, and there's probably someone in the comments right now or someone watching at home thinking, well, if the actor has this quirk, surely the character they're playing does too. But the key word there is acting. And just to counter that, I'd like to put this picture of Scarlett Johansson in character as Motoko Kusanagi. Yeah.
Well, we have talked before about Hulk Hogan.
Oh yeah.
And his character having a different size penis to the real Hulk Hogan.
People don't know the story behind that. It's when Hulk Hogan was suing Gawker, they tried to embarrass him in court by saying, well, in character as Hulk Hogan, you said that you have a 10-inch long penis. And they brought in the videos we've got video footage here. that doesn't look like it's that size to us, Mr. Hogan. It's like, and Hulk Hogan's real name, Terry Bollea. He's like, well, Hulk Hogan, the character does, but Terry Bollea, the actor who plays him, does not. And it's just like, it's a funny example of like, characters on screen don't always have to have direct parallels to their actors. It's like, a basic example, how many actors dye their hair to play a character, or how many actors, learn a skill, to a fairly competent level that the character they're playing is like a master of, for example. Like you did a video about Keanu Reeves, didn't you? Like, John Wick, the character of the legendary assassin, like 45 years of experience. Mm-hmm. Like Keanu Reeves in real life is not that good. He looks like it, because he's acting.
Well,
he's close.
He's close. You can see, if you go check out the video on our channel about that, but that's acting. And there's also, a bunch of like, in-universe stuff about, police officers generally can't have one eye.
I can't hear the word acting like enunciated anymore without seeing like in my head that clip of Patrick Stewart that people use in videos to make fun of people who are bad actors.
Okay.
Where there's just like applause, it's him looking directly at camera and he just goes, acting. And like, I can't hear it anymore.
Well, that's why Patrick Stewart, bald in real life when he was cast as Captain Picard. They initially made him wear a wig. There's little things like that, the actor isn't the character and the character isn't the actor, and the character might have traits the actor doesn't have, and the actor might have traits that the character doesn't have. And in universe, Columbo could not have one eye because police officers with such a disability would not be able to go out in the field. And that has led, you could say, well, what about maybe he got injured on the job? Like, maybe before we saw him on the show or between an episode, maybe he got injured and he has one eye in the the context of the show's universe. And like, well, that wouldn't really happen in the police because if you had such a disability, they'd either put you on disability or make you ride a desk. Because just imagine the field day a lawyer would have if your eyewitness testimony is based on a guy with one fucking eye. We've talked about it about like the Gil Grissom, the episode where he's deaf.
Yeah.
And it's like, he has a disability. It's like, okay, yeah, don't discriminate a guy who can't hear, but you're an expert. If you can't fucking hear, how do we trust your judgment on what you know?
I think he hides it for a while.
He does, yeah, and the fact that he has to hide it shows, yeah, like one of your primary senses does not work. How can we trust your judgment in this? If one of the primary ways people interact with the world is not available to you.
It depends, I would say, whether it is visible or not that the actor playing Columbo is missing the eye.
Yeah.
Like, if he looked around and one eye didn't move, you can't really say the character's got two working eyes.
You say you have a lazy eye.
I mean, it's really lazy if it's not moving.
Or it could be boss-eyed, we don't know. Well, that's the thing as well, and this is why it's so interesting. There's a fan debate about it, because you could say, the actor has it in real life, the character should, but then the character, in the context of the show, would not be able to have that disability. Maybe they hide it. But then, muddying the waters somewhat is a line in an episode, like, way, way, way down the line, where like Columbo and someone else are going to interrogate a suspect and say, oh yeah, it'd be useful if you can help me. 3 eyes are better than 2.
Oh.
I set that up for tomorrow. That'll be good. You and me together, Pat. 3 eyes are better than 1.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Did Columbo say that?
Columbo
but
says
we don't
that,
know
yeah.
if that's true then, do we?
No.
Everything he says is like...
Yeah, and it's unclear whether or not that was Columbo in character acknowledging that he's got one eye, or if it was a line like inserted by writers as acknowledging fans who are well aware of this one quirk of Peter Falk.
And people who don't know, it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, people who don't know just think it's a quirk of Columbo. He's just making shit up. That's his thing. He just makes things up.
Or maybe he's saying that because he's the detective, he's got 2 eyes, and everyone else has 1 because they're not very good.
Yeah, he's got like a keen eye for detail.
And the fact that we don't know means that people will keep arguing about it, and that means Columbo will stay relevant, which means I get to watch more detective fiction. It's like, oh god.
One of your favourites, isn't it?
I love it. That's the thing as well. I was made aware of the existence of propaganda, and we've talked on the channel before about that, of police procedurals and stuff where they really, really downplay a lot of illegal shit cops do. I like Bones, and I think I've talked before about the show Bones, where the amount of times on that show where a guy will I want a lawyer, and you want a lawyer? It's and they yell at them. It's he wants, because he's fucking right, and they frame the guy as being guilty because he wants a lawyer.
He told me I am not a cop and that I don't have any jurisdiction.
Which is true. Okay, what do you want me to do?
I want you to get federal on his ass.
Well, evidence acquired through breaking and entering is usually one they do.
Another show I love is The Mentalist, and there is a running gag. It's a joke. They play it for a joke, Like they'll go to someone's house, it's like, oh, there's some evidence in here. And they'll go, well, we can't go in. We're not allowed to go in without a warrant. And one of the guys will go, I hear screaming. Do you hear screaming? Yeah, I do. Oh no, probable cause. Kick the way in and start like tossing the place. And that's a joke. They play for a joke that they're like infringing on someone's rights because they know they're right. And in the context of the show, you know they are because Patrick Jane's there and he's always fucking right. When you think about that, like, you know, just isolated, that's horrifying that they're making that to be like, you know, they're playing for a joke, just cops infringing on people's rights.
Hey, we have no warrant. Don't you hear someone yelling at you? I heard something. There's no yelling. I have perfect hearing. I swear I heard someone.
It's scary. And that's the thing, and that's one of the genres I love the most. I fucking love the police procedural. I love Criminal Minds, I love Monk, I love The Mentalist. I recently did a rewatch of The Mentalist. I've been going through like Dexter a lot. And I guess you can't get with that, he's a fucking serial killer. It's the one where you get the spoilers.
Spoilers for the synopsis of the show.
And speaking of serial killers, today we're sponsored by a movie featuring a serial killer. Oh!
Oh, so smooth.
Professional segue. This is why he gets paid the big bucks.
Well, I get paid the no bucks at the moment. Well, hopefully this sponsor works out well. I'll be paid to the some bucks because we've been sponsored by a movie called I'll Be Glad When You're Dead, which is on Indiegogo right now. You can go support it in the links below. And they've always told me to say one thing, and that is that the film I'll Be Glad When You're Dead can be supported on Indiegogo at the links below. Besides that, we can talk about anything else we want. They just want me to say that one line and I'll earn money for it. Man, that's what being an actor must feel like.
Saying one line and getting
Saying
paid.
one line and getting paid. That's the way. Get paid, get laid. That's the rule.
We say a few lines and get paid.
Yeah.
You can, that's the thing, if you go support the Indiegogo, you can be a screen in the movie. You can get murdered by the serial killer in that movie.
Sounds fun. Let's do it.
I mean, do you want? Is there a plot synopsis?
There is a plot synopsis, yeah. It's a group of kids go for a party in a bunker. And apparently they're filming it on location in a real bunker in Canada. And the idea is a Canadian serial killer. Flawless!
Just kills people with bottles of maple syrup. I'm sorry.
I believe the slasher villain's like weapon of choice in the movie is an axe. It's just rough. Do you know when, like, you know, you see I love like the slasher movie genre, and just like, you know, when you see like the killer's weapon, you're like, I don't want to mess with that. And I'm hoping some like one of the things. Like, you watch a movie like this, you want to see some interesting kills. And like, there's a lot of stuff you can do with an axe. That's a scary fucking weapon to do.
Well, speaking of an axe and things you can do with it, I watched Parabellum, John Wick Parabellum, in preparation for the video.
Oh, he just like does the what? The axe toss.
So you would have seen this. He's just finished a fight. Everybody around him is dead except one guy who is like panting and trying to stay alive because he's bleeding to death. John Wick takes his axe from the other side of the room and carefully launches it at this guy's head.
That's it. He has so much time. Like, the guy has so much time to watch this happen to him. Well, yeah, the axe. I think one of the Indiegogo rewards as well is you can get one of the screen-used axes as well.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And a toy.
Is it going to be covered in blood?
I don't know. So how would you get that in the post?
Yeah,
What if it got opened by accident?
Why is someone sending you a bloody axe that just says like "cheers to the memories" on it or whatever? But no, like, yeah, that's they've reached out, and the thing I mentioned in the previous sponsor, unless this one goes out first, is that the guy who was reaching out, he's got the last name But. I'm gonna say it's still funny. It still cracks me up. But the theme of today's video has been like, you know, police procedurals, like crimes, slasher movie villains, horror movies. Do you have like a favourite fictional crime or like crime-solving detective? Because I said mine, like Monk, like Patrick Jane from The Mentalist, and we've done the ultimate cop show, Fuck You, Go to Jail. They all teamed up.
That was so good. I like Lucifer with Tom Ellis because he like becomes like detective's partner, and he's such a good partner to have because he can't die.
It's also as well like that's a rough interrogation. It's like, are you lying? Well, that's one sin. So every lie you tell means that like the size of the thing we're gonna shove your ass in hell gets 1 inch wider.
And then he shows his devil face as well occasionally, and they'll be like, "What the fuck?"
He has essentially a superpower, which is to find out what people desire.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
he always does it by leaning in and going, "What do you desire?"
And they just tell the secrets.
In the middle of a scene, and they always, these suspects will always tell him the truth, regardless of what it is. And at no point, even though he constantly says, "I am the devil," He never lies about it. I am the devil.
No one believes
And it
him.
was
No
like,
one believes him.
what a
He's
story.
got literal people run away from him screaming. He's got literal power that they can watch every time he does an
Like,
interrogation.
they shoot him multiple times and he's alive.
Yeah.
But they
Fine.
still don't believe him.
No, you just said I got better. Shut up. It reminds me a little bit of a horror movie series I'm a big fan of, except for like the latest one, is Wishmaster. And I highly recommend if you can track down Wishmaster, go watch it. One, because it's really good practical horror effects, which I'm not a huge fan of, but also like the actor who plays the titular Wishmaster. I don't know his name, but I'll put in a clip of him because he's really fucking good. And I think he's like Polish or something like that, but he's like a really smart polyglot. Like he speaks like 14 languages and he's this really smart dude, but then he plays this horror movie and like the way he talks is just so charismatic. And it's like, and his whole gimmick is, like you said with Lucifer, like what do you desire? It's like, what do you wish for? And he tries to get people to make wishes, and then they happen in quite ironic ways that end up killing them. But like you can believe 100% that you would believe this, or you want to talk to this guy. Because like he just goes into him and is like, tell me what you desire. And there's one where it's the girl like, I want to be beautiful. Do you wish for it? Would you like to wish to be beautiful? Tell me, just say the words and I'll make it happen. It's like, I wish to be beautiful. She turns to a mannequin.
Oh no.
That's the thing, that's what he does. It's so good. You got the guy's name, Brad?
Yeah, so the character of the Jinn,
The Jinn.
Oh, yes.
Andrew Divock, he's a Venezuela-born American actor.
Okay, so Andrew Divock,
Yeah.
and I think like he speaks like 13 languages. Like, I remember
Insane.
like, you look at his face as well.
I know.
That is a man. He's so scary. And his voice is so good. They did like a reboot of Wishmaster, and they got someone else who's clearly trying to do like a bad impression of him. And it's real fucking rough because they're clearly trying to be because they're playing the same character, and it's just not the same.
Of course. What I meant to say was, you can take anything you wish. Is there something you trade your soul for?
Man, Bus don't have no soul.
Shut up! Oh, yes, he does.
I just want to give you what you want. Get the fuck out of here. Is that your wish?
It's said that Robert Englund's also in the film. Who does he play?
In what?
In Wishmaster.
I think he's like the janitor or something like that. Robert Englund always had like a cameo in them, but...
Yeah.
So that film always reminds me of the Halloween video we did.
Oh, yes.
But I always think of the physical effects they did on that guy's face, where it was like, Jesus wept, and it just pulls his face apart. It's just like, that's proper like 80s style.
That's me, like, yeah, like slasher movie villain, like the one in this. Good, like, person with an axe. That's a good one. So I'm glad that we return to basics, like Scream's coming back out, isn't it? Which is just guy with knife. Which Matthew Lillard with a knife. What more terrifying a villain than Matthew Lillard with a fucking butcher's knife?
I'm going to get more into this in my own series on the side channel, but the fact that it's Scream 1, or Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4, Scream 6.
But they get away with it because Scream is self-referential and it's playing on the tropes of horror movies.
But why call this next one Scream 6 when you've already said that the previous one was a soft reboot?
Yeah, Scream gets away with that. Scream always gets a pass.
Don't care.
No,
Same
Scream
question.
always gets a pass because Scream is aware of, it's a deconstruction of that genre, so it'll always get a pass. Are they bringing back characters in that movie who died? Are there characters in that series who died and came back? Fuck it. Who gives a shit?
I don't need any explanations.
So I love that one as well, because I think it was like the previous one they did, where like the actor who plays Huey's in it.
Yeah.
Like Jack Quaid. And they asked him how he got into characters. His character is like a weird fan of Ghostface. So how do you get into the mentality of like a aggressively misogynistic, toxic fan? He went, I went on the Star Wars subreddit. Legit, he did. And he said that, I posted on there, and I just bitched about The Last Jedi, but no matter how ridiculous I made my rants, people always agreed with me, so I stopped doing it because it started to depress me. So he tried to be the cartoonish caricature of a toxic, misogynistic fan, and everyone's like, yeah, I agree with you. It was like, man, this shit's... Yeah, sponsored by a movie.